Well, Mario, productive bye week for you guys?
Yeah, it was good. It's always good for us, even though it wasn't where we wanted it in our season. It's always good to just stop, leading folks back on our fundamentals and just reevaluate what we did in the first 2 games and see what we did good and bad, and just try to make strides to become a better football team for the next 10, 11 games.
We were asking Ben about it a little bit, but playing against a Pac-12 team and stuff like that, does that bring a little bit more, motivation for you guys when we play against teams like this?
Yeah, it does, because a lot of people obviously think Mountain West isn't as strong as the other conferences out there, so that's how we gain our respect. I feel like we step up to the challenge well in the past, and you see the history of Boise State. We've done a great job stepping up to the challenge when we play a Pac-12 team, but we got to continue to bring that mindset whenever we play any Pac-12 team.
What do you see from this one in particular? What do you see from Oregon State?
They're a good team. They just had their first win. They took that 10-game losing streak off their shoulders. Obviously, I think they're hungry to get another win, and they have our number right now anyway. So we got to go in there playing like we're the underdogs and go in there and get our W.
Is that a big deal? Ben mentioned it too. I mean, I guess the coaches you guys are aware, I guess, of the history with them, and obviously the bowl game. I know the coaches and players from both sides are almost all different, but that probably was a bad taste in your mouth in that game.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's huge. They obviously have our number. We haven't beat them, and play this game to win. So obviously we're going to emphasize that all week, because we got to understand that we're going into somewhere that we've never won at. We're 0-2, so we got to go in there with the right mindset, so we make sure we're not 0-3 and make it 1-2.
What do you remember about that time leading up to the bowl game? Obviously, Coach Pete left, and it was kind of a weird time, and then you guys came out, and obviously they took it to you pretty good.
So I don't remember much, because that was my freshman. I didn't play much, but just the atmosphere wasn't right. Our mindset wasn't right. Just with Coach leaving and just some things happening off the field while we were up there in Hawaii. Just didn't seem right. The team wasn't focused, and it showed on the field.
What do you see out of Oregon State? What are the greatest challenges in trying to block them?
They're a little different from what we've played so far this year. They're big. Their D-linemen are big. They got good motors. They got a good scheme. They got some really good personnel. Obviously, we're playing a similar defense with the coaching staff from last year from Utah State, D coordinators there. So we don't know what to expect from them. It's still early in the season, so they could throw a lot of things at us.
With Brett obviously struggling last game, talking to some guys, it seemed like fully expect him to come out this week and have a really good game. I mean, what was he like during the bye week, and is he a guy that you would expect to come out this week pretty strong?
Yeah, knowing Brett, for all I've known him, I have no doubt that he's going to bounce back perfectly fine. I think I got asked this question about Grant a couple years ago after Air Force, and I said he's going to be just fine. We're going to stick with our quarterback. And thankfully our defense was able to bail us out last week. But yeah, Brett was focused all week, took it upon himself to get better all week, and I know he's probably up there studying right now, so no doubt in my mind that Brett's going to bounce back perfectly fine.
Not sure if it's possible from last season, but do you notice an increase in Jeremy's physicality when he's running the football this season?
Yeah, I was real proud of him in the fourth quarter last game. He just took it upon himself that he's not going to get tackled, but it's going to take more than one person to tackle him. And we've preached as a whole entire team that we want to be the most physical team out there. And I think, yeah, he's come a long way from even just last season, and he has a lot more to show this year.
Just 2 games in, how do you think your group's done so far?
We haven't played to our standard, I don't think. I think we need to emphasize a lot more on physicality. We got to pay attention just to smaller details where you can, you watch it in film after the game, and it's just like something just a little bit here, a little bit there. But as a whole entire line, I think we just got to play more physical and make sure, especially not let Brett get touched as much. But let him get hit more often than we've wanted.
What does playing more physical mean? What do you want out of the team to be more physical?
When you watch a run play and you see the other side of the line getting moved, you see people on the backs, it's just having that physical mentality. It's just having that nasty mentality that you're going to move this man from his spot to the other spot.
Sam obviously playing close to home this week. You've gone against him in practice quite a bit. What impresses you most about what he's brought to the table for you guys?
Well, Sam has one of the greatest motors of a player I've ever gone against. I've seen a lot of players, seen a lot of people in college, played against them, but Sam just has heart, more heart than anybody I've ever seen, and I'm happy for him. He gets to go out there and play in front of his home crowd, and it'll be good for him.
Jeremy Nichols said the exact same thing about the motor. So when you say motor, how do you define that? Is there anything that you remember that just really stands out?
Yeah, it just doesn't matter if it's play 1 or play 10 on the drive. He's going to give you the same exact effort. If anything, when he gets to those, when he gets to play 8 and 9, he keeps going harder. it's even harder than when he was going to play one. I mean, he just has that drive. He's made it up in his mind that's how he's going to play as a football player. And if he lacks physical strength or physical athletic ability, he's going to make it up with his motor.
I know teams change from year to year, but that was an Oregon State team that was 2-10 last year. They're 1-1 right now, but haven't beaten an FBS team. Is this a team that you think is better than what the numbers or what things might indicate?
Yeah. As we look at it, they're just 1-1 this season. They have a win. And last year's team doesn't matter to us. They got new players in, we got new players in, they got new schemes, they got new coaches. So we're not looking at what happened last year, and we're just looking at, because they have ballers on their team. They have the athletes, they have great coaches, they got a great scheme. So you can't look at it like that, because if they do that, then they're going to come out and beat us. You can't fall asleep against playing a team like that. They're a Pac-12 team for a reason. And like I said, they already have our numbers, so you can't sleep on them.
We asked you this 3 weeks ago, but another game day for you guys. Thoughts on that, and are you excited to be able to come home at a decent hour Saturday night?
Yeah, that'll be good. It's a lot better than just having to wake up. You wake up at like 8, 9 o'clock, and then for a late game, then you just sit around all day and you're anxious to go get out there and play. So this forces you to wake up, hop in the shower, eat breakfast, pregame meal, watch it, a highlight film, and you go out there, and then you just got to get up and play. Where I feel like it just takes the jitters away a little more than if it does, where you're just gonna have to wake up. So I actually like this a lot better, so I can get up and get there and play, and not have to overthink things from now till 8 p.m.